Yeah, maybe we can start, John.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a sign when we are going live on YouTube.
In 20 seconds.
Are you going to do 1, 2, 3? That's university heart.
We are online. We are online.
Dear colleagues, a very warm welcome from their heart of the Urals, Ural Federal University. We are located here at Graduate School of Economics and Management in Yekaterinburg at the border between Europe and Asia. And today we are actually very happy to host you virtually, hopefully next time not virtually, but in our beautiful place at our university. We are also being a part of big innovative industrial fair INNOPROM. And actually, this is one of the biggest international fairs which is going on right now. More than 40,000 participants are presenting their innovative technologies and thinking how to integrate those technologies into education of future leaders. And all those technologies which are presented right now offline here are from 22 countries and 60 regions of Russia. So it's quite amusing. And although we are indeed facing new realities after 2 years of pandemic crisis, when we all got to use to digital world, we are moving to their next steps. And of course, well, we have to discuss how the international landscape will, so to say, marry their digitalization, their new world order and new partnerships, and how it will change their international landscape. So basically, what are the innovative agile solutions, how to keep up the quality of international education? What are their new tools, or maybe the old tools that we could use in different circumstances, our pioneering things to increase the quality of education, how to connect with business world, how to create their innovative education solutions, and how to be a provider of global talents to their global economy and our national economies. All these questions, I hope we will briefly touch within our discussion. And that is why we have invited our old and new friends, universities, representatives of corporate world, and also recruiting agencies and also digital platforms to share experience how a new knowledge could be created and how to keep pace in VUCA and BANI world. Let me briefly present speakers before we start, and then as a moderator, I will have to keep their time in up to 10 minutes from each speaker. And I will kindly remind you about timing with the heart from Ural Federal University. But indeed, we do hope to have fruitful discussion and have questions from our YouTube audience. And I will read all the questions. And if you don't have to cover all the questions, we will publish the answers afterwards on the public website. So today, we have the following speakers. Dmitry Tolmachov is director of the Graduate School of Economics and Management, Ural Federal University, and also vice president of Think Tank Association in Russia. We also have Larisa Bogdanova, who is the president of the Association of Recruiting Agencies of the Ural and director of IBC Human Resource Agency in Yekaterinburg, Russia. We also have Yelena Rybinskaya, project manager of Ural Federal University Fundamental Computer Science and IT team, SKB Contour, our local Google. And we also have Professor Amir Bazit, Dean of School of Business of Gift University in Pakistan. And we have Professor Liang, Vice Dean from School of Business, Shantou University in China. And we also have Ekaterina Fufaeva, who is head of executive education of digital platform Skillbox, Moscow, Russia. And my name is Zhanna Belaeva. I'm Academic Director of Graduate School of Economics and Management, and I'm happy to be your moderator today. So, well, as you probably know, we are quite proud of that here in Yekaterinburg, that we were basically the first business school in CIS countries to have international accreditation of European Fund of Management Development, EFMD. And we actually started our journey in 2010, and we tried to keep the floor to the highest standards of quality business education, and we made all possible and probably impossible connections with businesses and fundamental research to satisfy the labor market and attract the talents. So, well, of course, we are pretty much interested in created community in Russia, CIS, and our partner countries to keep up the quality of graduates. And internationalization landscape, the possibility to travel, to exchange opinions is very important for us. And I would like to give the floor to Dmitry to share with us how internationalization landscape in Russia and CIS has changed over last year. Dmitry, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Zhanna. So I will start the presentation. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Great. So I would like to share with you the recent research about the level of internationalization of Russian business schools. It's the annual research, and the most interesting thing is how Russian business schools came to February, just the day before February 2022. So let's start. So the main goal of this annual research is to understand the changes in the internationalization, not only in Russia, but in CIS. So CIS, including Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, etc., and other countries. And we consider 4 components. So the first one, international accreditations. The second one, the papers published in ABDC journal. ABDC list, it's the list of economic management, etc. journals. So in our field, professional field, and we consider on the good and best papers. So A+, A and B. The third parameter is the quality of partner network and the double degree programs of CIS business schools with business schools worldwide. And the last one, positions in QS and Times Higher Education subject rankings. So here you can see how many not only Russian, CIS business schools are visible from abroad if we consider the best accreditations. So EFMD, ACSB, and AMBA. We also consider CMAN, but CMAN it's so the level is a bit less. So now we have 21 schools that have the first level accreditation. Some of them cross, so we have 1 Triple Crown school, etc. So 20 schools are visible from this point of view. And the interesting thing is that last year, in 2021, 3 new schools entered this club. So 2 schools from Higher School of Economics and Moscow, and one school, KIMEP, Kazakhstan. So a really good school, one of the best. Here you can see the second parameter. So it's about the positions in QS and Times Higher Education rankings, business and management studies, if we talk about QS, and business and economics in Times Higher Education. So you can see that some schools increased their positions, some other schools lost lost a bit their positions, and only one school increased the positions in both rankings, just our school, Graduate School of Economics and Management. So 100 positions in QS and about 50 positions in Times Higher Education. Here you can see the third parameter. So it's about best publications, best papers published in economics and management in this field during 3 years. So we consider the 3 years time. And in parentheses, you can see the previous 3-year period. So 2018, from 2018 till 2020. So you can see that among 10 leader schools, 3 schools, they demonstrated the really significant progress in publication of best researches. High School of Economics, Nazarbayev University, Kazakhstan. So it's a steady step-by-step progress during some years. And our school, URFU, Graduate School of Economics and Management, in terms of papers, we are now number 4. And one school demonstrates the regress, the slow regress. Also, yeah, it's not only the situation in the last year, it's Moscow State University. The partnership network, so it's not the most interesting thing because it increased a bit in 2022. The most interesting thing is about new schools. So the new countries, new schools arrived, if we talk about partnership, different forms of partnership between CIS schools and schools from abroad. They came from South Africa, from China, Turkey, India, Uruguay, and Mexico. So the total number is not so important because the level of school is important and the deepness of partnership. Nevertheless, here you can see 10 schools, Russian and CIS schools with the most, the biggest number of partnerships. Among them, you could see Almaty Management University, Kazakhstan, KIMEP, that I already mentioned, and also our school, Graduate School of Economics and Management. But the most interesting thing, and I would like to point your attention on this slide, is about the year 2022. So as you know, the accreditation association, ACSB, IFMD, AMBA, they have suspended accreditation activities, but at the same with Russian schools. But at the same time, the accreditation, so we can use accreditations. So those schools that already got international accreditations of this level, they continue to keep them and to use all the opportunities. And you can see the the arrows on the left side of the slide. So 3 countries with the biggest level, the biggest number of partner schools that have partnership with CIS schools. So Germany, USA, and China. And the green color, that is the percentage of schools that have suspended or discontinued the cooperation with Russian schools. So you can see that China, USA, it's about 10% schools that have suspended activities and partnerships, and Germany 20%, a bit more, but it's not the same if we consider Czech Republic or, for example, Belgium or Spain or Finland. And USA and China are very different countries, but the schools continue to cooperate with Russian and CIS business schools. Now maybe I would like to mention, it's not the part of the research, the map of internationalization, but it's also the important thing for our dialogue today. It's about the schools in CIS that are the most online schools. So you can see here St. Petersburg, Polytechnic University, High School of Economics, our school, Ural Federal University, ITMO, St. Petersburg, and the big university, St. Petersburg University, the national one, the state one, and also Moscow State University. Other universities are not about business and economics, so they are engineering universities. So here you can see the map of Russian and CIS business schools, those who develop, who continue their international, the strategy of internationalization. So 3 of them you can see, on the XY, you can see accreditation, so the level of accreditations. So the top is Triple Crown, EQUIS, ACSB, and AMBA, and step by step, so only 1 institutional accreditation and double degree. After that, the program accreditation, etc., and to the bottom. And on the X, you can see the publication activity, so the number of best published papers. You can see 3 schools in CIS that are in the top, and 17 schools, it's the blue area, that are really good, visible, and have the understandable and deliberate strategy of internationalization. So the last point. So I would like to summarize some facts I have already mentioned, but I would like also to point your attention that last year Kazakh business schools have demonstrated a really significant progress. So KIMEP received FMD accreditation, Al-Farabi entered the top 500 in QS, and Nazarbayev University from Astana have also demonstrated the progress in publications. And also Azerbaijani business schools. So 2 years ago, there were no one Azerbaijan school was in the map, in our map. But now 2 schools are in it. And the last point that I would like to point your attention is about the changing, the shifting of the vector of cooperation of of Russian business schools. So we could see now that the level of partnership with business school and the deepness of cooperation in Asia, Middle East, Africa, and Latin America, nevertheless, the distance is going to increase, and the opposite thing, it's understandable if we talk about Europe and USA. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dmitry, for your deep presentation. It's quite interesting to see the intensification of internationalization, actually. According to all the mentioned international accreditation bodies, the key success factors are employability of graduates, digitalization, sustainability issues, and close ties with international peers. Well, as you have mentioned, also some of the accreditations have postponed new process. Well, we are lucky enough to have ours until 2026. How this new trend will change the quality of programs? Will we have new drivers, or will we have to substitute for our local new accreditation policies in search of new quality agreements with new partners? What is your opinion on that? How that will change internationalization landscape?
Jan, sorry, I have some troubles with the sound and the last minute I did, so I switched on only now. The last.
Yeah, so there, the basic question is, do we need to have another local or regional accreditation based on quality, which we actually achieved already, and how it will change internationalization landscape, in your opinion?
I don't think that the local accreditational association or system could really change the situation, because in any developed country, developed in point of from the point of view of business education, so each country with a lot of business schools has its own system of accreditation. Some of them, they emerged, and like ACSB, yes, like FND, like maybe the Asian system of accreditation, and now they are international. But I don't think that the Russian system of accreditation could play this role. I think that the emerging, for example, of the Asian system, APSB, yeah, Asian Pacific, so could play this role for Russia and CIS. And also, I think that the business education is, and so it's beyond the borders, beyond politics. Normally, now that is not, but I think it will recover the first, because universities and business schools, it's about business. It's not about politics.
Thank you very much. I pretty much agree with that. And I think that academic excellence and corporate relations, these are the drivers probably for our future quality development. And of course, we will keep up their corporate relations and developing quality publications for those who would like to continue in research. And of course, according to the World Survey, millennials are putting well-being above all, and they're even looking for a job which actually reflects their values. And that is why, well, we observed that even though business students, they are interested in international exchange, they're interested in international business on the mechanics, how it works, but also it should contribute to their local, global market. And of course, that is why I would like to give floor to Larisa, who probably knows much more about evolving labor market trends and demands. Could you please share what's going on in their labor market, and if there are a place for international students or Russian students or CIS students overseas? The floor is yours.
Thank you for the invitation. Hello to everybody. And I would like to show you my presentation. So just a moment. So today I would like to discuss with you the theme of requirements of employers to graduates of business schools. And the second issue is also very important. How is it possible for a foreign citizen to get a job in Russia? So a few words about me. I'm Chief Executive Officer in IBC Human Resources, and this is a recruiting agency. We operate for 25 years in Russia, and also I'm a president of Association of Recruiting Agencies of the Urals. And on this slide, you can see the development of requirements of employers since 2005. And very interesting thing. In 2005, the most important trait of character was responsibility and high level of motivation to work. And graduates without work experience were welcome, and they learned during their work and developed their competencies. I attract your attention that in 2021, nowadays, high level of motivation is also very important. But we see that critical thinking is an important competency that demand employers from new people. It's the ability to think logically about a problem in order to solve, and it's a valuable soft skill. Employers prefer job candidates who can demonstrate a history of using critical thinking skills, and they want to have employees who can solve problems quickly. But more importantly, they want ones who can solve them effectively. So creativity is also an important soft skill, and is supposed to help develop innovative solutions to problems. It requires an openness to innovation and mental flexibility. In many sectors, creativity techniques are designed to achieve better results. Nowadays, in this changing world, in VUCA and bunny world, as Jeanne already mentioned, emotional intelligence is very important. It's the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions effectively, and to relieve stress, communicate effectively, emphasize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflicts. Communication skills, you see point 5, are also necessary, and we use these soft skills when we give and receive different kinds of information. Communication is our whole life, and it involves listening, speaking, and observing. Leaders today and leaders 20 years ago are demanded to be very bright managers. They build cohesive and productive work and project teams in order to achieve the required outputs. They manage meetings, inspire team members, facilitate and support their teams. So in every job, decision-making is also very important. It's the process of making choices by identifying a decision and gathering information and assessing alternative resolutions. And using a step-by-step decision-making process can help companies make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternatives. So let us turn to number of foreign employees in Russia. So how many foreign people work in Russia? And you see that numbers decrease from 2019 to 2022. In 2019, 9 to 11 million foreign employees work in different companies. And in 2022, the information was given on the 1st of May. Practically 6 million people work for different companies inside Russia. And I also would like to show you the table, and you can see the numbers of foreign employees that worked and work in Russia. And here we have different figures from 2014 till 2021. And you see that all figures also decrease except Tajikistan. So foreign employees still come to Russia, but they have limited, I think they have very limited opportunities to work. So industries where foreign people are usually employed are information technologies, educational sphere. In construction, usually it is unqualified labor, and housing and communal services. And it's also unqualified labor. Why do we need foreign employees? So in information technologies and digital technologies are actively developing in our country. Foreign IT specialists will be able to obtain a residence permit in Russia in a simplified manner. The corresponding law was signed by President Vladimir Putin, and now the procedure will be more simple. The law will help to avoid a shortage of specialists in the conditions of growing demand for them, to attract highly qualified employees to work in our companies. But what has changed in the procedure? The document expanded the list of categories of foreigners who can obtain a residence permit without first obtaining a temporary residence permit. Now they include IT professionals as well as their family members, from spouses and children to grandparents. And important condition is IT specialists should get a job in accredited companies. So I think that this is the information I wanted to share with you. And if you have some more questions, you can always get in touch with me by email or just calling me. Zhanna, would you like to ask more questions?
Thank you very much, Larissa. Indeed, I have lots of questions, but I'm limited in time, and I'm sure we also have questions from our translation in YouTube, but I will start using my right of moderator. So it looks to me, because, well, at the university level, we are indeed international community. We have a lot of researchers working for university offline here in Yekaterinburg, and we are international school. So we have a lot of international students who are doing their double degrees. And even though there are different conditions now, we just had French students who graduated from our double degree with Catch Business School. We have our students who are doing double degree in Germany, a couple of universities. We have lots of students who has made exchange semester in this semester and also applied for the next semester in European and Asian countries. Of course, we also have applications in the education sphere from international peers. And our prospective employers, they're actually saying that, okay, well, if we know that a student has spent at least half a year abroad and got back alive, then that would be a very important asset for our future business, because he's got a lot of experience in international environment. So then, well, a question, what would be the stimulus? I understand that you have mentioned the new law attracting IT specialists. Anything in education sphere, or should we count only physical employment, or in digital world it might work in different conditions? What are the perspective for international students who graduate here and vice versa?
I think the situation is not very simple nowadays, and we cannot predict and forecast the future. So it will depend upon each case individually. So what education the person has and what he wants to get, what job he wants to get, in what city. So in my practice, I had people coming from the USA with good work experience in accounting and in construction, and they cannot get a job according to their specialization. So they become teachers, teachers of English in language schools. And I think they are ready to learn Russian language, because so many people do not speak English, and to communicate and fulfill your working tasks, you need one language to do it correctly and effectively. So we cannot predict, I think, nowadays.
I see, though the language constructs do exist. Well, for us, it's a different world a little bit, because in our business school, English is one of the working languages. But indeed, beyond the universities, it's slightly different, especially when you're moving outside of the center of Russia. And I think you have answered to one of the questions from YouTube already, but I will read there another question from YouTube. How has the role of the world of practice in the business education changed? Is there a specific requirement of corporates participating in education right now?
I think business education has become more and more popular, and very often we see requirements from the employers that managers should have additional MBA or additional business courses in different spheres, and this is a great advantage of a candidate to get a new job. And I also would like to point out that the salaries usually grow with the number of business schools you graduate.
That's a nice correlation, actually. Thank you very much. Well, I hope we have some time in the end of our discussion to answer some other questions. Thank you very much, Larissa. And I can't agree more, because we are always upgrading our business programs. And as for accredited international economics and business program, we have actually made it more complex with digitalization trends and inviting more corporate partners. And that became also a challenge for new students, because the program is much more complex. Although, of course, you have a really worthy diploma, but sometimes it's a trade-off whether you're wanting to satisfy the market or you want to invite more corporate partners to satisfy the market from the other side. And that is why I'm really interested how these things are balancing in Pakistan. So I would like to give the floor to Professor Basit from GIFT University, Pakistan, to share how business education, graduates employment, and digital economy mix all together in your case.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Excuse. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share aspects related to business education, employment, and digital economy from Pakistani perspective. Let me give you an overview of what is going on in Pakistan in business education. At the moment in Pakistan, we have 237 universities, and there are 207 business schools in Pakistan. And interestingly, very few are accredited business schools. For instance, only 33 business schools are accredited by our national accreditation body. The reason for this low number is that it is not mandatory at the moment for business schools to get these accreditations. And we have only one business school that has AACSB accreditation. So from this perspective, you can see that we are far behind from Russia and other neighboring countries in this aspect. And coming to GIFT University, GIFT University is a private university, and it was established in 2002 with 6 faculties. And it is located in a city that is heavily populated by industry. And at the moment in this city, we have population of 2.35 million people. And there are 6,000 small and medium enterprises. They are manufacturing a variety of things like fans, motors, auto parts. They're working in steel, they're working in electronics. And there are 25,000 people who are working. There's a cottage industry. People are building things at their homes. And in this given environment, we are offering business education. So this GIFT Business School is the first recognized business school in the region, in the Gujranwala region by Higher Education Commission. And we have 2 faculties. One is Faculty of Management Science, the other is Faculty of Business and Commerce. And we are offering all undergrad and master's and PhD program. So we are offering this program for last 20 years. So the business school is very known and very impactful in the region. So most of the graduates who are working in this region are our graduates. So we have been quite influential in promoting business education in this region. And at the moment, we have 8,000 students who are studying at GIFT University, and around 2,000 are business students. Okay. As far as internationalization of GIFT University is concerned, you will see that we are again a bit slow in this because we started our Office of Internationalizations 5 years ago. And the performance you are looking on this slide is just a 5 years effort of our school, which is not bad. So you will see that we are connecting with various countries, and we are doing a variety of collaborations with those countries. For instance, we have Study Connect program with UK, and 45 students have participated in it. And we have international admission in UK, and 5 students have took admission in the UK universities. Then we have international admissions for Canada. There's 1 student. And we are actively engaging with Russia now, and education exchange program. We started in 2018, and 8 students initially participated in it, and we are growing this partnership now. And boot camps are taking place in United Arab Emirates, and 14 internships has just been completed in Turkey. And we also have a partnership with the USA in UGrad exchange program. So in addition to the exchange program, we have virtual international exchange program that mostly occurred during the pandemic years. So 140 students completed their internships in UK and Russia, and it was an amazing experience for us, and it opened up various new avenues for us where we can connect our students with international partners. Then we have semester exchange program in Turkey, international summer school in Turkey, and USAID internship program in USA. And in total, you will see that we are more into virtual international exchange, and that is 146 students as compared to physical exchange where only 75 students participated. And we also are now moving forward to have joint conferences with partners. We have just completed 2 international conferences with the University of Dundee's Business School. It was a very good experience. And our 2 joint conferences are in process, one with Ural Federal University and one with University of Sarawak. So this is how our school, which is not a big school, it is a medium school in size, but the progress towards internationalization is happening in this part of the world. Okay, you asked about employment related things. So here you will see that at GIFT University, because we are the largest university in our region, that is the Gujranwala region. So I would share that our graduates, most of our graduates work in the local industry. As you know that we have 6,000 small and medium enterprises. So mostly they join those companies because they are near to their homes, and travel time and cost of living is affordable there. And because it's a sub-industry city, so most of students who we have in business school, they come from business families. So they go back and join their family business. Some of them who also who have family business background or do not have family business background, they move towards starting their own business. That culture is growing in Pakistan, especially in our region. And there is another important aspect in what we are facing is that most female graduates do not join the workforce due to their family responsibilities and the cultural norms, mostly when they get married. So their in-laws and their husbands, they think that we are responsible for all the economic needs. So women's role is limited only to the family affairs. So this is something which is slowly changing in Pakistan, but we don't see a very high participation of women in the workforce in Pakistan at the moment. So the disadvantage of this is that we have around 60% female students at our business school. So, and large chunk of these graduates do not work. So this is the point of worry for us, that how we can make them productive. And we have few ideas for this as well, how we can make them work internationally and locally. Another interesting insight from the digital economy perspective is that we have 29% of Pakistanis who are between the age of 15 and 29 years. It's just a very big number. I mean, there are 6.3 million people. And among them, 4 million who are at the working age, above 22, 23. So they are very interested now in getting into the digital economy. And you will be surprised to know that Amazon entered Pakistani market last year in May 2021. And you will see that after the United States and China, Pakistan is now the 3rd largest population of sellers on Amazon marketplace with over 1.2 million registered vendors. And most of these vendors are youth. They are university graduates who are seeking to open up more opportunities in the international place. And what they do is they not only sell Pakistani products to the international market, they are into trade now. They buy things from China and they sell them through this digital platform to all other countries. So it's a very, very lucrative thing for our graduates these days. And Pakistan is the 37th largest market for e-commerce with a revenue of 5.9 billion in 2021. So I see that there are a lot of potential for all our neighboring countries, including Russia as well, that we should be focusing on e-commerce, and we should connect our graduates somehow that they learn collectively and they do business collectively, and we can think about it. And there is also rise in freelancing in Pakistan. Fiverr and Upwork, these are two bigger platforms in Pakistan. And I have observed that girls who are in their colleges or who are not able to join universities, or those who are not allowed to work after university education, they are very much active in Fiverr and Upwork. They sell their writing skills, they sell their digital technology and design skills, and they do all different kinds of trainings. So, I mean, it is something that is emerging very fast in Pakistan, and which is also bringing foreign exchange revenue for Pakistan as well. Another aspect, another important question, what business schools in Pakistan are doing to promote the digital economy, which we see is the future. So we see that in Pakistan, many business schools are now offering courses in data analytics, in digital business, in digital marketing. These are very hot areas. And we have also offered these courses in MBA programs. And in addition to this, some schools are offering BS and MS programs in data analytics. We have one BS program in data science offered by our computer science department. And we are also working on more programs in data analytics. And then there are many seminars and workshops on e-commerce and freelancing happening in Pakistani universities. And interestingly, youth is now creating new clubs and communities to promote a digital economy in Pakistan. So we see that from employment perspective, because we have various economic challenges. So students, especially university graduates, don't have many jobs. So this is the avenue they have seen that which has no limits. I mean, they can buy things from anywhere. They can sell things from anywhere to anywhere. So this is a whole globe open to Pakistanis due to this digital economy. So there are a lot of opportunities here for all of us to focus on and to divert our business education towards this aspect, so that we can open up or we can expand the landscape of our graduates to the global level. And finally, I would share that what kind of international challenges and opportunities exist from my perspective. One is that I have observed that our business curriculums, for example, we have experienced that business curriculum in Pakistan, in our university, and in Russia, and in UK, and in Malaysia. We don't have good alignment, and this is the issue, because when we want to send our students to Russia, we see that this course is not on their curriculum, or the course they are offering is not approved in our curriculum. So it becomes a challenge. So then what we do is that we offer a course here, register students here, they go there, they take that course, and then we transfer that course, the credits of that course, to the course that has been offered under a different title. So this is something that we need to think collectively, that how we can make our curriculum consistent. The other is that quality standards are also different. And I'm very impressed by the progress taken place in Russia. I mean, you have 21 accredited business schools, and they're very top-notch accreditations. So this is something that it is very impressive, and we Pakistanis need to learn from this. And we also see that a lot of accreditations are happening in Malaysia as well. There are many AACSP business schools there, and in China, and in other parts like in Japan, and in all these Asian countries. Another aspect is that in Pakistan, what we feel is that student-faculty exchange is quite expensive for students and faculty living in low-income countries like in Pakistan. And currently our currency has lost a lot against dollar, and it is quite expensive to travel and sending students abroad. This is something we need to sit together to see that how we can do it digitally and see how we can resolve this issue. Then we have language barriers, as you have also pointed out, that in Russia, students prefer to speak in Russian, and obviously it is very logical. But when you think about internationalizations, so we need one language, and at the moment, English is that language. That is a language of business. That's a language of internationalization. Fortunately, Pakistani students, because throughout they study in English, so they don't have this problem here. But when they move to other countries, for instance, in Russia or in Turkey or in Malaysia, then they have this problem. And we have seen that many universities offer undergraduate in their own languages, like in Malaysia. And I think in Russia is the same case. So students feel very difficult to go and join exchange programs at the undergraduate level. And another thing that we see in Pakistan, that youth prefers to go to Western countries like US or UK or Australia or Germany, because these are English-speaking countries. They go there and they study there, and they want to get citizenship of that country. So because these kind of things are connected with their larger perspectives of life. So this is something is challenging for us to motivate students to go to Turkey, to go to Russia, and seek opportunities there, and knowing that there is a decline in employment in Russia as well. So this problem will not improve further, given these conditions. So we need to think about this, how we can resolve this issue. And as far as opportunities are concerned, so one thing is clear, that Asian countries are open to internationalization, and we should use this opportunity to open up our business schools and connect with others. Then we have digital platforms who are offering cheaper and more efficient avenues for collaborations, and that need to be explored and developed. Unfortunately, for instance, in Pakistan, we don't have good learning management systems. And after COVID, everybody is using Google Classrooms as LMS, and which has very limited features. But in top universities like Royal Federal Universities, who have big good platforms, and those platforms are able to connect other universities in their online courses, I think this is the avenue where we should be working together to create platforms where we should offer more degree programs, more joint research activities, more collaborations. And then students are now more willing to have international exposure in Pakistan to build their careers. So the population is also ready for that. And finally, we see a sharp rise in entrepreneurship in Pakistani universities. And there are so many incubators opening up in Pakistan. I'm also working on a business incubator in my university. And I see that if we could connect business incubators internationally, and we can build ventures together. I mean, students from Pakistan, students from Russia, they start their startup together, and they do business collectively at the global level. These things can accelerate partnerships and open up more exchanges, more physical visits, and more learning and transfer of cultures from one country to the other country. So this is all about my presentation. So
thank you very much. Well, I actually have a list of points that I have taken. Thank you very much for lots of thoughtful ideas. And indeed, well, we do have undergraduate programs taught in English, so your students are welcome to join. And we actually have researchers from Pakistan here in Yekaterinburg, and we would be happy to invite students for our summer school. One of them just started today on creative industries. In a couple of weeks, we actually have data analytics summer school run by Professor Kazi Sohak, who is the head of lab here in Yekaterinburg, and that's very sophisticated econometric techniques, which actually lead a lot of our even young researchers to top-notch publications in A-star journals. So we, by the way, some of our bachelor students just published this year in first quartile very high level of journals. So we would be happy to have international publications for students as well. And of course, their School of Sustainable Business Development, which we run annually in autumn, also attracts a lot of students who are interested in sustainable startups, and that would be a good idea to develop joint projects for different important global issues in the world at the moment. And a very good point, and I see the question from YouTube, but I just want to briefly comment. We will have presentations from Russian platforms today, so it's also, I think, a good way of developing new, maybe joint courses in analytics or doing business in specific areas. So that's already a lot of new directions which could be developed in cooperations. So there is a question from YouTube. We are a little bit short of time, but if you remember, for Pakistani students, can you give the most successful example of international virtual program for students from your experience? So what would be their best program, virtual program for Pakistani students?
I mean, is this question for me?
Yes.
Yeah, I think there are many programs, virtual programs that our students can benefit from, like you mentioned, data analytics. This is something, and learning how to do business through Amazon. That is a virtual program that enables you to learn how to do business, and you can start your business in very short span of time, and you can earn money. You know, so these are the things that are quite available, easily available in virtual programs.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, I hope we have time in the end of our discussion to plan the future. And I think I'm very pleased to give floor to our next speaker, who knows probably most about student startups and training of IT skills and cooperation between students and building these opportunities. Well, I've already mentioned that we have our local Google. I hope that SKB Contour is not offended by comparison with with Google. But I give the floor to Elena Rybinska, project manager of URFU Fundamental Computer Science and IT team and SKB Contour. Elena, could you please share your experience?
Yes, hello. One moment. And this, okay. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yes, my presentation will be quick, so I'll save time for you. Yes, and I didn't speak in English for like 5 years, so God help you to understand me today. Yes, we are fine with local Google, and sometimes we are joking that maybe Google is Californian Contour. Why not? And my speech today is not about business education. I think most of you are talking about business education, but about business supporting education, and a little bit about Contour. Contour is the biggest IT company in Urals. We are now more than 10,000 employees, and we are growing, and we have a lot of vacancies. And if we are speaking about students, we have like 100 and 140 IT interns each year. That means that we have to work with the universities to find most talented people to invite them in our company, because we need good programmers, good coders, good IT people. And that's why we are not only hiring, we work with universities and support some programs and help teach students. For example, more than 300 our developers work as teachers in different universities each year. That's a lot, and they help to prepare new colleagues for ourselves, for their teams. All educational programs from Contour are free, and we also have our own web platform with IT courses. It's called You Learn Me, and it's some kind of LMS, speaker before me mentioned lack of good LMS systems, and in Russia we have the same problem, so we made our own. And it's free, it's open, anyone can learn programming there from zero level, but the maybe main problem for this discussion, everything is in Russian, so you need to learn Russian first. And about our partnership with Ural Federal University, it's, I would say, our favorite university, because our biggest office here in Yekaterinburg, and with UrFU, we have the longest relationship and really love each other. We have now two big programs. First one is, we call it FEED. It's 4-year program, it's a bachelor program, and second one is a master's program, it's digital humanities. I put there on my presentation some links, so if you're interested, you can find details on these websites. So how it works? University in both programs leads in basic disciplines like math, algorithms, science, and Contour and other companies in region in some modern technologies. It's important because in IT, everything is really, really fast, like 1 year or half of the year, and if you're not learning every day, you are really, really behind, and university alone can be with this kind of speed and change programs without help from business. That's why we work together. And we want to create a study plan which prepares students for work, make them not only programmers, because that's kind of simple, and already many courses helps with that problem. We want to create unique specialists who understand the whole development process, who could work at any role in the team, who could be programmers, designers, team leaders, etc., who could create a startup. We also have a business incubator in Contour, and we really interested in young minds and ideas. So we try to create a study plan which not so simple, who help students to be someone they want to be, and later create something great here in Urals. And we started to change FEED 3 years ago. Now we have 250 students, and we changed dozens of courses, established 2 scholarships for best students, and I think right now FEED is one of the most popular programs in in university. And a little bit more about our master's degree. It's also new, and it helps to form T-shaped specialist who has expertise in something and also know how to work in related areas for example, it could be a specialist in marketing who knows everything about development process in IT. It's kind of different, but it's needed. We have a lot of vacancies in this area. Or it can be project manager who can work with people as a team leader, for example, not only with process, but with people too. Everything, this type of connection not so simple, and you need to work with students to teach them how to be this kind of specialist. Last point for today, it's a charity program. So with students, we work many years, more than 10 years. But our next step, last year, we established a foundation to work with schools. Because here in Urals, we have this problem when people live in our region, it's not a new problem for us, because we are not Moscow, not St. Petersburg, and good and talented school graduates are living. And we need to offer them something good here. So why we established a foundation to work with schools and school teachers. There are also a link, and we are really proud of this program. It's new, and we are trying to build the whole big system for schools, for university, and later for young specialists and not young specialists, to be this center of connection of minds, to be something good here in our region, because we think it's important. That's all, and I can answer questions if.
Thank you very much, Elena, for first being brief and also touching very important points. As a professor teaching international business and sustainability, I'm very touched that you have this specific fund to encourage young talents, because this is part of our investment program of attracting human capital here to the Urals. And I think that's fantastic. I'm also happy to say that we are glad to have Contour as a partner for our business informatics undergraduate and master
It's
program.
actually new. It's something new. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mention. Yes. So we have a lot of programs, and I work with these two. And yes, I know that we have something new. You're right.
Yeah, and it's great to have something. Well, we also agreed on something new just yesterday in frames of industrial fair of Inaprom in terms of data analytics and economics. So hopefully that will change their outflow and inflow of young talents. So a short question. Well, when you're doing more complex curriculum, is it does it become a barrier or an opportunity for youngsters?
Oh, it depends. For someone, it's difficult, and with all our opportunities to talk with school graduates, so we are sharing every detail and tell them that it's difficult programs. Yes, that's true. We have a really high level of or how to say in English, a score for application for exams when guys from school go into university, and it's difficult to come to our programs, and first years will be
a nightmare.
Yes, a good word. Yes. Yes, that's true. It's hard. It's like a full-time job. We counted how many hours students need to be successful in our program, and it's typical 40 hours a week like we are working. So it's impossible to first 2 years, it's impossible to work part-time. But after that, with this good base from these difficult courses, any our student successfully can find internship or vacancy. We check this type of information each year, and we see that they're fine. They easily can find a job, and they're successful, and that's great. But it's difficult, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, we are following the same logic, work hard and then be rewarded. So
Yes.
I would like to address to our next speaker, Professor Liang from Shantou University, China. How do you manage to integrate corporate partners into your business educational projects? Is it the same for you like here in Russia?
Okay, thank you. I will share my screen. Okay. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great honor to participate in the international panel discussion.
I'm sorry, perhaps you
yeah.
can do their different demonstration mode with screen.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, but we see 2 slides.
Slides. Yeah. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, okay, it's fine like this.
Yeah. Okay. Can we go on? Okay. First of all, let's make an introduction of our universities. Our university is a comprehensive university located in Guangdong Province. It was founded in 1981, and our business school was founded in 1996. Our school is special because it's a provincial and ministerial university jointly built by the Ministry of Education and the Guangdong Province and the Li Ka-shing Foundation. But we are a public universities. This is only one public university in the world. They was continually funded by a private foundation, the Li Ka-shing Foundation. Now we have 12 colleges, which are open to doctoral, master, and undergraduate students all over China. And also we have our foreign students and many exchange programs with universities in Europe, the USA, and Japan and Canada. Our School of Business, Central University, our vision is to committed to advance the times and develop global competencies through education in contemporary society. And now we have got our EFND accreditation in 2012. And in these 2 years, we are prepared to get the accreditation from the BGA associations. And we are implementing and promotes the artificial intelligence and the big data technologies with our programs in our undergraduate and postgraduate education. This is some of our achievements of our business school, and this is international accreditations and other associations. In last year, we have awarded by the AMBA and BGA associations for the best CSR initiative schools. So this is the topic that I would like to share with you about our schools. This is integration of corporate partners into educational products. As you know, the business schools programs is quite have a connection with the practical worlds, for example, the companies and the other institutions. So, for example, in our schools, we have a full-time faculties or citywide, but we also have a 16 part-time faculties. Which the professors, we have 38 enterprise supervisors. They are managers in famous companies and which many management experience. So they are here to complement to our faculty teams. They provide practical courses to our students. This is really helpful for our education program. For example, there are many senior scholars and have a government executives, and they have many management experience. They have the latest policy developments and the latest knowledges home abroad, and in the program of undergraduate MBA and executive education. So in different level of courses. Yeah. So this is three kinds of programs that we have included our political faculties. They join our courses and many teaching activities. For example, in undergraduate program, since 2017, our school has employed 13 enterprise supervisors to teach about 8 courses. For example, to have been hired in a team of lecturers from Bank of China or managers from the famous companies, and they give courses, for example, the financial transaction and practice and product design. They have many other faculties are welcomed by the students. They have given many practical way and experience and interest opportunities to our students. So, the lectures with practical experience from, for example, from the Bank of China and Central Federation for the protection of financial consumption rights and interest. They have teach financial education practical courses to our students. I think this is very important, for example, because the teachers of our financial program, we are laid off the full-time faculties because many of the PhD, when they are graduate from the universities, they find jobs in the banks, in the financial institutions. Many of them they come join the university, yeah, because the salary of our university are much lower than they got in these financial institutions. So we would like to include some of the practical teachers in our courses. In our MBA programs, the schools focus on professional practice experience and especially focus on the finance and innovation and entrepreneurship. So we have invited some of the product design managers in companies. They can give the courses to our students, MBA students, especially, for example, the product design and the operational management and the management information systems. So the teachers and students can go to the company and they can have a deep discussion and can have experience in the more practical way. Yeah. Our MBA program also attach importance to the engagement or in the teaching process. So we have also encouraged our full-time teachers, faculties to move our courses outside of our campus to the company. So we can have integrated our teaching and the consultation at the same time. This is some, I've given a list of the companies that about 20 companies, they have a regular visit for our MBA students. Here are some classes, the other kind of classes they have make on-site to the different kinds of places, and they have to have a variety of activity to improve the ability of MBA students to solve practical management problems. Yeah. Through communication and discovery with on-site managers, I think our students can understand the current situation of enterprise experience and the actual decision-making process. For example, in cooperation with organizations such as Central Electronic Business Industry Association, our students they can fall into study groups with teachers as mentors, and they can make a research and make a teamwork and to participate in the specific management problems that was raised by the enterprise. So the enterprise give many activity and opportunities. So our students have the opportunity to the management solutions to the enterprise. So this will also encourage our students to participate in innovation and entrepreneurial competitions, or especially for our MBA students, they set up entrepreneur teams and they join the campus entrepreneurship park. So this is a platform can support our students to participate in innovation and entrepreneurship. This is our students, they have got the prize in this competition. The third program is our executive education. This is a non-academic management education program for our senior managers and entrepreneurs. This program creates a series of courses through teaching, such as common visit, study tour, and interactive communication. So many of these students, they have many practical experience, and they have rejoined the campus to study new knowledge. So we organize many corporate visits. So these companies are for our students or our alumni, so they have a pair visit and to get more knowledge about the new trends in different industries. Also, we have a face-to-face with our corporate executive, with our part-time executives. So they have a more discussion, and they can find new industry or business opportunities. This is a good platform for they find the new opportunities to do business. All of this activity, the resources of our part-time faculties, they can give many internship opportunities to our students. It also can improve our school's contribution to our local companies and the local societies and the economies. So this is share our experience, and sincerely hold the common mission and can be committed to educating the future managers to our society growth, and especially in the new age of change. Thank you. This is my presentation.
Thank you very much for the extended presentation and showing us your corporate experience of students at different level of programs. Indeed, that's very important for youngsters and also for established PhD students as well to talk directly and communicate face-to-face to business. And it's interesting experience to organize study tours. We actually are doing the same in Graduate School of Economics and Management here at Ural Federal University. Of course, I'm quite digital, but I think sometimes we need to do face-to-face communications, and we would be happy to extend this study tours. Well, we will see how it will work. We have the study tour learning like a Russian, which takes place in April every year, organized by international department. So you're welcome to join to meet our companies as well. Well, I will skip questions from YouTube right now because we are overtaking a little bit our time. And it's a good link actually for me going from corporate communication to different digital programs as well, because I'm very happy to present the next speaker, Ekaterina Fufaeva, who is head of executive education of Skillbox, which is a education platform. And there are so many courses of different things that you can choose from Skillbox. And hopefully there are some English taught products as well. So Ekaterina, please share with us how you integrate into global digitalizations and how digitalization is different from just IT transformation.
Yes, thank you, Jana. Do you see my presentation? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Today I would like to raise an interesting topic in business education. What is real digital MBA and what is digital transformation in educational process? Digital MBA is quite a new format, and usually it's implying online or blended learning when part of the lectures can be provided through video, but students still meet with professors offline. The quality of digital programs and the level of their digitalization in different business schools can vary because there are no standards yet. So, 2 words about me. I have more than 5-year experience in business education. Most of this time I work at Skolkovo Business School, and now at Skillbox I led the MBA launch with the Graduate School of Management of St. Petersburg State University. And Skillbox, as Jana said, we are a Russian tech company founded about 6 years ago, and now the company is considered as the leader in the field of teaching professions to the digital economy and for the digital marketing. A lot of different products and courses we have on our platform. And last year, the Skillbox and the Graduate School of Management of St. Petersburg State University, we have been launched MBA program, Leadership Change. And this program provided with flexible blended learning format. Offline classes on the basis of the GSOM campus are combined with the online program. So our program belongs to the digital MBA format. The program now not only video lectures at LMS, it's also online classes on Zoom, as well as offline meetings where students can personally ask questions to the professors and communicate with each other. And of course, visiting companies. Online part is really very convenient. Students can visit the lecture from any place. And of course, in digital program, we moved to a more interactive format. Our methodologists and instructional designers use online quests, tests, online interactive boards, all the new technologies and tools to make education process more involving and efficient. So our ideal proportion is 50% on Zoom, 20% offline, and 30% is working on Skillbox online platform. So our digital platform is own Skillbox technology, and as Yelena said earlier, that we can't find something that we really like, and we made our own. And our platforms provide around the clock availability and service support, progress dashboards, personal feedback for each homework, and high quality video lessons involving long read formats, adaptive educational track, and so on and so on. So, but if we speak about digitalization and digital transformation, it's now I think we are between this process, because when digitalization, it's just adopt offline formats to online, and digital transformation when you change your model at all. For example, when a professor gives a lecture on Zoom, like we are today, it's not yet a digital transformation of educational process. And we think that actual digital programs must combine the best features of online, offline, and new innovative approaches, individual education tracks, and of course, actual content inside the programs. And of course, it takes a lot of time and effort to prepare materials and to find the balance between online meeting on Zooms, face-to-face training, and recording video materials. But it's very interesting. And of course, digital education has its advantages and disadvantages. And more than 10 years ago, several Harvard professors posted their lectures in the internet, and they started the era of mass online courses. And then some experts said that online education would replace offline education at all. But we see that even after pandemic, this didn't happen still. And it seemed that the problem of motivation and efficiency was found out. So in the online part of education, in digital programs, it is really necessary to pay special attention to the variety of interactive formats of the new digital tools to increase the involvement and effectiveness of training. But on the other hand, advantages of digital MBA programs, there are a lot of them. The main advantage is saving time and money. There is no need to go anywhere to hurry, stand in traffic jams, and so on. You can study directly from your office or home. And it's really very convenient. It also opens up new opportunities for residents from different regions and even different countries. So you can save your money on logistics and accommodations, but still gain access to the knowledges by the highest level professors. And so a lot of methodological and instructional design tools we have here. And for example, flipped classroom, it's a model when students watch recorded lectures before class and complete their assignments, lab tests, and group work directly in class. Also, when we thought about networking, we understand that also online formats and Zoom formats, it allow change different small groups, and people can communicate with different students, not just with students who sit near. But on the other hand, we should speak about what is inside digital programs. And we think that digital MBA is not only the active using of digital tools. The issues of digital transformation, digitalization, and so on should also be covered within these programs. And this is important, really important part of the current management agenda. And for example, in our program, we have added end-to-end digital course to core management disciplines, and students consistently move from simple digital tools to data management, new business models, projects related to artificial intelligence, and the course completes with the digital transformation strategy. So today it's really like digital world of changes, and it is important to be flexible, to be able to adapt to uncertainty, to changes, and successful managers should constantly learn, like a concept of lifelong learning, and especially developing digital skills and competencies. If you have any questions, you can contact me using this QR code digital tool. On the slide, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ekaterina. And we were just discussing yesterday with colleagues that paper business cards are the world of yesterday right now. It's only QR codes and so are digital managers. But I would like, definitely there will be some questions, and due to their time shortage, we will have to address them afterwards. But I'm pretty sure that being digital actually embraces all what we have discussed before. And also that's an opportunity, and I hope we will have some of the courses that we discussed before on the top-notch economies, on the data analytics with Skillbox as well. Because we also work with school boys and girls, with undergrads, graduates, and other levels in terms of online learning. And yes, we all experience that all what we say is being Googled at the same time, whether we are actually telling the truth or not. So we have to create unique content all the time. And it is harder and harder to engage students of any age. But I also would like to say that basically there is another trend, which I guess we haven't really covered. Well, Professor Liang covered that in the presentation, and I think Professor Bazet as well. There is another one important trend, sustainable, which is the new digital, which comes together. And I would like to give the floor to our the last but not the least speaker, dear Professor Liu, welcome. I would like to present you Dean of Silk Business School from Shanghai. Welcome to the floor. And I would like to ask in this respect, as an well-known school, you of course have the digital products, you of course integrate employers in your educational products. What about ESG trends? Is it actual for your school as well? Is it the new digital as well?
Yes, thanks, Dana. Yeah, actually, it's necessary because under this global or globalization situation, more and more Chinese business school developing toward ESG. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and firstly, I'd like to say it's very glad to meet you again, Zana. Yeah, last year we met online, and I'm really glad that you hold this forum every year. That's very beneficial for all of us. And today, I'd like to talk about the training. The trends in training business school graduates, particularly in the ESG trends. We all know that ESG represent environmental, social, and governance. Since the world-leading business schools are placing focus on sustainability, like social governance issues, so the concepts of social impacts of sustainability have become greater priorities globally. Okay, but before I introduce some practices in my school, I'd like to briefly introduce my Silk Business School, Shanghai University. You know, actually we are located in Shanghai, China, but we are we call it Sino-Foreign joint education in China. That's a very innovative, teaching institutions in China, because we not only teaches the students following Chinese policies, but also we import the resources from other countries. So our partner for my Silk Business School, our partner is in Australia. That's University of Technology Sydney, UTS. So we are co-founded by Shanghai University and University of Technology Sydney in 1994. Nearly 30 years already. So that's a very innovative, which means the students who studied at Silk, they can achieve double degrees. One is from China, one is from Australia, and we run a bachelor degree, master degree, and a PhD degree. So it's like a mixture. And the advantages for such kind of education is we can learn from both countries, both universities, and to adopt their resources, like the faculty, like their cut-edge courses, and the faculties, they can do research collaboratively. And for the faculty, there's an international platform. They will visit each other and co-teaching and co-supervising PhDs like this. And that's very interesting, teaching mode in China. So many, friends around the world, they are quite interested in us and want to know how we run this successfully, and what can we get, and how complex it is. Actually, in 2020, our school get AACSB accreditation, and at that time, in China, there are about 30 business schools accredited by AACSB. And while preparing for the international accreditation, we start to realize the significant impact of the ESG trend on business school when it comes to the identification of the school's mission, strategy, impact, expected outcomes, and every aspects of business education. So I still remember when we prepared the AACSB accreditation since 2014, and we need to write lots of documents. We must emphasize like the sustainable mission, the continuous improvement, and also the ethics and CSR education for students. So the ESG trends really affected the way we teach the course, the programs we offered. And also, I think we benefited from the ESG. So the research we conducted and many academic seminars we launched, some are related to ESG. On the other hand, it has a positive social impact and largely improves the social engagement of schools with shaping more, equitable and sustainable environment, so as to heighten the overall well-being for the next generation. I will give two examples for you how we do the ESG. Along with the environmental changes rise, the world is going through a massive ecological transition. So most of the a very hot research topic is like carbon emission or carbon neutrality. So at my school, we are highly aware of the impact business has on environmental issues. So we have held a number of academic seminars spreading the ESG ideas of creating universal access to reliable clean energy and increasing the share of renewable energy by 2030. We also encourages our faculty and practitioners across disciplines to take in-depth research on environmental related issues. And they have published many papers in top academic journals. Last year, one of my colleagues, they published a paper in management science, which talked about, for the managers, how to make decisions about the ESG. We also held a conference with UTS last October, aims to enhance international research cooperation, including the research themes on sustainability, renewable energy, or like new energy vehicles, low carbon economy, carbon dioxide peaking, and carbon neutrality, etc. We believe that there is a strong responsibility for business school to educate their students to acknowledge the climate emergency, as well as motivate the new generation of business professionals and academic scholars to take their efforts and make an impact in preserving natural resources, upgrading the industrial structure, upgrading the management of environmental risks, promoting the use of green energy, green economy, green products, green services, such kind of ideas. Okay, and another example for us is in addition to the environmental issues, social equality is also a crucial part of the ESG trend, like the charitable giving, particularly from educational institutions, allows students, as well as faculty to create societal impact and feel the drive for greater adoption of the future, the ESG notions. So we have run, such kind of programs for more than 20 years. That's since about 20 years ago, our students, faculty, and alumni, they have made various forms of donations and actively carry out philanthropic program to help primary school students who are living in poverty in China, such as in Yunnan province, in Jiangxi province. Over the 20 past years, the program has received strong support from the educational community, from the alumni, and achieved a great success. And also in the city, this program, was awarded award that's about 5 years ago as a very good program, and also won the best project award of Shanghai students, practitioners program. So as of 2021, a total of 600 people have participated in the donations, and we have helped about 600 primary students with cultivate donation and teaching, along with some facilities such as desks, computers, school bags, and other school suppliers. So when we're doing this, it's a good education experience for the students to improve their ethics and their kindness to the society. So in the past years, more and more our graduates have volunteered to participate in the Western project to teach, which means to teach in the less developed areas of the country. As you know, China is very big, so our development is not very balanced. We still have some poor areas. So the students there, they need, more stationaries, and also the graduates will go there as faculties. They can cultivate more students in the poor areas. We always encourage our graduates to go on mission trips, because we believe that taking a range of initiatives covering climate change, low carbon economy, poverty, and educational equity, etc., will not only allow our students to serve socially vulnerable groups, support local communities, and drive broader social change, but also allow them to deepen their knowledge, enhance their leadership skills, and while learning to take more social responsibilities. Okay, so that's the two very important, best practices in our education. So to sum up, I hope in the future, business schools will follow the ESG trends and work together to create sustainable solutions to the world's greatest social and environmental changes and make the world difference. As I know, many good business schools, not only in China, but also in the world, that they are doing, the business training towards ESG. So ideally, through this process, transforming our business school graduates into informed, engaged, and socially responsible young adults who will make positive impacts on the, better of the society.
Thank you very
that's
much.
all I want to share. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, dear Kanzhan. And we're actually the time is up, but I still would like to say a couple of concluding remarks. Well, I've got so many insights, and I definitely will share all of the insights and suggestions per email, but I've coined some key trends from their future education and education requirement. First of all, the quality curriculum is based on digital infrastructure, but also critical thinking and engagement of fundamental research and corporate partners. And all of our corporate partners and schools presented already tried to do new innovative products using the digital platforms and integrating sustainability trends as a new digital. And all of us actually understand that we need to be highly adaptable to new changes in the market. And in a global thinking, of course, there will be some different changes and waves, but we have to be agile and will fight for digital and social equality. At Graduate School of Economics and Management, we have done our audit for our sustainability, and we published the report at United Nations Prime Business Schools. It is there. If you should be interested, we will send you the report itself as well. And I think a very good outcome of our roundtable would be if we exchange afterwards our ideas and plan some new projects involving new digital products, educational products, and maybe exchange of students and corporates, and maybe providing new courses, inviting corporate partners from each country and from different cities to disseminate this knowledge in Russia, China, Pakistan, different regions of our country and your countries. And I think that would be a very good digital project which fits the requirements of future graduates. So the world is in our hands, and that would be a very good impact investment of all of us. Thank you very much for participating today. We will send all their protocols afterwards, and we would be happy to meet you next time face to face.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you. Thank you a lot.
so
Bye.
much.
Thank you. See you next
Bye.
time.
See you.
Bye. No.